Wednesday, heading home from work. Supposedly tomorrow it's supposed to snow. Maybe start later today. Feels a little too warm for me for snow. But the clouds are dark. So they don't know what we're going to get. It's going to be one of those mixture of snow and rain deals again. Which gives you that nice heavy snow. So we'll see. I don't think much is supposed to happen today. I think it's all supposed to start tomorrow. So, yeah, I was watching Ruben's video talking about the raffle. Ruben, I'm a little disappointed that you felt you couldn't enter the raffle because people would have thought you were cheating or biased or whatever. Enter all the raffles you want, Ruben. It doesn't matter if you pull your name out. Why would it matter? We all know you're not cheating. We all know I'm not going to win, but we all know you're not cheating. Seriously. I'd hate to think that you're not entering the raffles thinking that people think, or you think that people think you're going to cheat. So, sit down, enter all the raffles you want, Ruben. It'll actually make everybody happy, I'm sure. You're going through the trouble. You're going out of your way to do the raffle. Why can't you enjoy it? You know? So, you know, it's like you building Louise and then never driving it. You know, what's the sense? You know, you're going out of your way to do this raffle for everybody in the gang. Least you could do is enter it if you feel you want to. So, yeah, I was talking the other day about when I went out to dinner with the guys, and my apprentice hooked up with us. Just a little like side note on that. He became my apprentice. I've said this before. He became my apprentice when he was 16 and didn't have a license. When he was 17 years old with his junior license, I actually let him drive the wagon up to cruise night. With me in the passenger seat, of course. And I felt it would have been good for him. It was a lot of car for a kid that didn't have any driving experience to handle. I mean, cruise night wasn't that far than what we went to, you know, it was a couple of miles away. But I figured if, you know, he was going to stick by my side and I was going to stick by his side, one of the first things we did was I took him to a cruise night. Because I figured at a cruise night, everything was old school and the parts were a little more easy, they were a little easier to identify. And I knew a lot of people at these cruise nights, and I knew as soon as I sparked up a conversation with them that it would be easy for my apprentice, whose name is Jesse, to talk to these people, and they would get into detail on the car and how they restored it and how they've had it for 50 years and, you know, some of the features and whatever it was. So as time went on, that's when I felt, let's take him to the next level, let him bring a car up to cruise night. Well, needless to say, he didn't really get hooked on muscle cars per se, but he is into his MR2s. His first project that he conquered or tackled was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a 95 MR2, which is a regular 4-cylinder non-turbo stick car. And he ordered a motor from Japan. He ordered one of those Corolla motors from the front-wheel drive Corollas. Had the 4 individual stacks on it with 4 individual injectors, which made about double the horsepower that was in this MR2. But in a Corolla, it's mounted in the front of the car. In an MR2, it's mounted in the back of the car. So everything's backwards. It's not that it's backwards. The motor's still on the same side of the car, but the shifter linkage actually comes through the other side of the transmission. And these units have a beefier transmission because the horsepower is almost double. I think it goes from like 80 to almost 160. And we actually had to take the unit apart and bore a hole through the case and machine the case to have the shifter come out the front side. And then everything hooked right back up. Which I thought was a pretty big achievement for the skill level that he was at the time. And he did the rest of the work. That was the only thing I assisted him on. And it was pretty cool. We somewhere I got pictures of it, but after we bored the hole in the side of the case, I actually had to make a holder to hold the seal, or else gear oil would have just came right out alongside the shifter rail. And I actually made it out of a piece of copper pipe. And I sat there and we machined it to match the side of the case, and then grafted it to the case, which was actually pretty cool. We did it with JB Weld. And after it was done and it was all smoothed out, I shot the case with like a cast iron, and it looked like it was actually part of the case. So when he was telling me that after going on the forums, that usually people just bored the hole and it left the shaft sticking out and they just kept topping off the gear oil, that I was one of the first guys to make an actual seal holder for it. And I know he had the car for a couple of years and it never leaked. I know now he's moved on to, I'm going to guess the year of 2002, 3, 4, MR2, the last generation, which is turbocharged. And I know he's pumping out over 300 horsepower to the wheels. So, and I know he did the motor on that and the turbo and the tune and all the other stuff. So he's definitely advanced and moved on. So, which is a good feeling. You know, it's good to know my last 2 apprentices have moved on and, you know, are in the field and making money. So, well, that's it, guys. I'm home.